Hey guys, what's going on? It's Josh here, and today we're just going to go ahead and run through my deck profile. For those who didn't know, I run a Herald deck, pretty much just fairies. So we'll just go ahead and go through the main deck first. So of course, you run 3 of the boss monster, which is just Herald himself. This guy is great. Pretty much once he's on the field, as long as you have fairies in hand to discard, you can pretty much negate most plays that your opponent tries to make. And pretty much with that being said, you want to run the best tributed ritual monster you can have for any ritual deck, honestly. Ben 10's effect is when it's tributed, it allows you to search a fairy and bring it back to your hand, which is really nice. It keeps your plays going. And then for the second tribute target, we have Idaten. Idaten, when it's tributed, it allows your monsters to gain 1,000 attack and defense for all ritual monsters that are on field, which is always a nice thing to have. And then I run 2 Sephiras. Sephira is a really good card in this deck, mainly because its effect pops off and triggers anytime you use Herald while it's on the field. Her effect needs a light monster, a fairy monster for that matter, to be sent from hand or field to grave for 3 of her effects to trigger. One of them is you're allowed to randomly discard 1 card from your opponent's hand during the end phase. The other one is draw 2 cards and discard 1. And the last one is add a light monster from your graveyard to your hand. And then I run 2 Dakinis on top of that. Dakini is a really good card. It's a non-targeted effect. So when it's on summon, it forces your opponent to not target, but they have to choose a card on the field, and it has to go back. I believe it goes to the grave. Yes. And then for my favorite engine, I run the Star Seraphs. I like to call them Stick and Chair. Stick is really good for the mere fact that when it's summoned, it allows you to search out your chairs, which are these guys right here. Pretty much, these are your best level 4 making engines for all rank 4 monsters that you have. This allows you to search and allows you to bring a copy to your hand. And as long as you have another copy in your hand, you can inherit summon them. And when they're summoned during that way, you can get a draw for each one. So that's a really nice effect to have. It's pretty much your draw engine of the deck. And then of course it's pretty just standard since it's a light deck. I run 2 Honest. Pretty self-explanatory. Most people know what this card does, so I'm not going to go into it too much. And then I only run 1 Manju. The consistency of Manju is very interpreted by other people different ways because I don't like normal summoning a whole lot with this deck unless I'm using my Star Seraph engines for the mere fact of I want as much draw power as possible, and using Manju just on normal to search doesn't always make the plays that you want it to make. So that's that for the monsters. For the spell lineup, of course you run 3 Pre-Preparation of Rites. This is pretty much the most broken spell in the deck. It just allows you to get the ritual monster and the ritual spell together and allows you to start some of your crazy combos. The next broken card in the deck would definitely be Ritual Sanctuary. You pretty much pop this card by just sending a spell from your hand. It allows you to search any ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck, and it has a great secondary effect that just allows you to special summon a light monster from your graveyard by shuffling in the amount of cards to the level of the monster. So it's just a great shuffle in deck, and it's just a great summon as well. And then for the rituals themselves, we have Dawn of Herald, of course, just for Herald Perfection. We have 2 Hems of Lights for Sephira. And then this is just kind of my tech card, only because sometimes it helps me when I brick. I run Machine Angel Ritual. This is really good. It comes in handy a lot of times when I play and I get a really bad hand. If I can get Idaten and Ben 10 in this card in my hand, pretty much it allows me to make a Herald no matter what. You tribute Ben 10 for Idaten. Ben 10's effect triggers Engrave, and Idaten's other effect is when it's ritual summoned successfully, you're allowed to bring a ritual spell from the deck to your hand. So this gives you your fairy and your ritual, which obviously would give you your Herald combo that you need. So those are just the ritual cards, and it's just really good as well. I didn't mention this, but Machine and Hem are really good in Grave. Machine can be banished from Grave to save all light monsters that you control if you banish it. And then Hemalight saves all your ritual monsters if they would be destroyed as well. So those are the ritual cards. And then just, more tech cards. I run 2 Twin Twisters. Pretty self-explanatory. Back row can be a pest sometimes when you're just trying to get out your cards to start the negation and what else. 1 Instant Fuse. I do run a Norden in this deck. It is nice to have a Norden in here so you can pop his effect, get a level 4 from grave, and then trigger it to go into another Xyz monster. That's always helpful. Soul Charge, self-explanatory. Preparation of Rites. This card allows you to search a lower, it's a level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck, and it also allows you to add a ritual spell from the grave to your hand. That can also start a lot of good plays. And then last but not least, we have the best staple in the deck, in one of my opinion, Regeki. This definitely wipes the board before you even have to worry about monsters such as barrier stuns, which I have to run into those a lot. So it's just a nice little card to have. So let's go ahead and get into the extra deck. This is where the Star Seraphs really come in handy. This makes the deck even stronger than it is. We have Evil Swarm, Ouroboros, and Stellar Knight. These 2 guys are what make the Star Seraphs so good. When Star Seraph, Stick, and Chair are put together, Stick's effect on a summon of an Xyz monster that takes 3 or more materials allows you to pop a card and draw a card. So these guys are really good. If you guys don't know what these do, definitely look into them. I'm not going to go super crazy in the extra deck. I'm already taking up time as it is. I also run a Castel. I run 1 Utopia Prime and a Utopia. I run a Beyond, and that's just self-explanatory. I run a Castel only for the main reason that just sometimes you just need a card off the field, and it's just a great way of getting it away. And then I run a Beatrice. Beatrice is a really nice card to destroy on field. And if you run more than one of her in the extra deck, which I'm thinking about doing, it can recycle itself constantly from the field to extra deck as long as you have another one. Go ahead and go into the number 24 here. This card, honestly, is busted. If your opponent is using a lot of extra deck, this is a great way to keep this card on field. And then Gaia, he's just a nice little ring 7 to make off some ring 6s, since that's what most of the extra deck really is, just to do some piercing damage. And then last but not least, we got Norden. So that's really about it, guys. This deck's pretty fun. I honestly have just a great time just messing around with the guys and just negating everything they do. So if you guys like this deck, go ahead and try it out for yourself, and we'll see you guys in the next one.